Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going out there in Facebook land this morning? It's a little overcast and it was raining earlier, but we are braving the elements this morning.
Yep, we decided to come to our outdoor studio.
Yeah.
We've been waiting to use this for probably a good month.
Yeah.
So of course, as soon as we put everything out, that's when it started to snow again in Minnesota. And yeah, so.
Yep. So what are we talking about today?
So we're kind of doing a recap of the month. We started the month, it's April, so we were really diving into the triple A's, awareness, acceptance, and alignment. So each week, if you've joined us, we've kind of touched on each, and today we're going to bring it all together.
Right.
Yeah.
So we started with awareness, and
yep.
you know, you can't really fix a problem if you're not aware of it, right? So awareness is fundamental, and it's really the starting place. And awareness is without judgment. You know, we're trying to do this without judgment. So it's not, oh, I'm suddenly aware that I'm an idiot. No, it's an awareness of our life, an awareness of what's happening in front of us. And so think of awareness as a non-judgmental state where we simply are present.
Non-judgmental state of presence.
Yeah. So that's awareness. What's the
Acceptance.
Yeah, go ahead.
So acceptance, I think sometimes we think of acceptance as, like I've said this before, giving up. And really acceptance is letting go of resistance. Maybe it's letting go of resistance of something that is presently in your life. And accepting that. Maybe for me, I found out that's my word for the year. Acceptance sometimes is accepting good things too. It's accepting compliments. It's accepting abundance. You know, it's accepting things that I don't feel I'm worthy of, because I have that underlying feeling of unworthiness and not being enough. And for me, acceptance has been accepting that I am worthy to receive and that I am enough.
Tara Brach has a beautiful, beautiful book. If you haven't read it, you should go look at it. It's called Radical Acceptance. And the idea here is that we simply are. We are all of us. Martin Luther said we are simultaneously saint and sinner, right? So it's so easy to love the saint. It's a little harder to love the sinner, right? But if we accept all of ourselves and we accept the saint and we allow ourselves to take the compliments and we allow ourselves to live in abundance, and people get confused about what abundance means. It doesn't mean getting things. It means accepting the beauty of the world around us.
Yeah, relishing in it, like being aware of it in a way as well.
But also accepting the sinner, to use Martin Luther's term, to accept those things that we're not exactly entirely proud of, because they're simply us. We are the product of everything that's happened to us in our entire life, and we all carry stuff, right? I mean, I've told this story many times, but I'm sure I could sit here right now today and think of something that happened in grade school and blush, right? Because that's just the humans we are. That's who we are. So accepting that we did silly things, accepting that we did embarrassing things, accepting that we did things that we aren't entirely proud of, all of that, that's just accepting the totality of our humanity in, again, a non-judgmental manner. It's not, oh, I accept the sinner. It's no, I accept me. I accept me non-judgmentally. I simply am.
And I accept you as you are as well.
Yep. I accept you. I
accept your choices. Thinking of my children, sometimes as they become adults, sometimes I want to give advice on what I think is better for them.
She's really good at that.
And I'm trying, like, that's kind of my mantra from the year. I don't give advice unless I'm asked for it, and I still fail miserably.
Yeah, well,
but at least it's kind of in my mind, and I'm becoming more aware of it, and I'm accepting them. So they really can be who they want to be. You know, I see the world through a lens of myself. for my beliefs, my life experiences, my education, everything. And that's not their life. That's not their life view. So I have to, I need to accept them, love them as they are.
So a beautiful piece that I read recently, and I apologize to the author, I can't remember the author, but try not to be mad at people because they're not the person you wish they were.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own journey and they're doing things for their own reasons, and they may not align with your journey and your reasons. It doesn't mean they're wrong. So this idea of acceptance and this non-judgmental acceptance of ourselves and acceptance of others, and that somehow leads to this notion of alignment. What on earth does that even mean, alignment?
Alignment is, so once you becoming more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, how your thoughts affect your feelings and your emotions and your actions, and then really going back to the core of who you are, and then becoming aligned with that. So it's, putting a sense of purpose in the things you do, putting your passion into the things you do, having what you are and what you do be in alignment. That's my phone, sorry.
So, so something as simple as, I wrote a blog not too long ago, as, coffee is mantra, right? I don't
Speaking
drink.
of coffee, I forgot mine this morning. I see it in there and I'm like, I see you.
So close, just so far away. I don't drink coffee, but most people do, so I wrote it as coffee is mantra instead of tea is mantra. But coffee is mantra. Think about it this way. Be intentional about it, right? I mean, think about a Japanese tea ceremony where everything is ritualistic and precise and careful. I mean, you don't have to be precise and careful, but make your coffee intentionally. Hold it in your hands and savor the warmth and the aroma and the whole ambiance of it, and then savor the flavor. Don't I just have this memory of my dad reading the paper and kind of slurping his coffee in the morning. Don't do that. Make it a ritual, make it real, make it present. And that is part of alignment. You want the coffee, well, be present with your coffee. You want to...
That's really the beginnings of the coffee bean. It was a ritual thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whether it's chocolate, cacao ceremonies or coffee ceremonies or tea ceremonies, or there are many ceremonies that these are actually sacred. In fact, if you go to China, they'll let you into the lower fields of tea, but to go to the high elevations, you have to actually, in traditional times, you actually had to go through purification ceremonies in order to actually be able to work in the upper premium tea areas. So all of these beverages and many other things that are in our lives that we just take for granted, these started out as sacred rituals. So let's come back to that, not because of some external thing, but because of our own internal needs for sacredness and routine and whatever the word
Presence.
Sacred means to you. Yeah, for me it means presence and meaning and purpose. So I think this idea of alignment, think of it most simply. If I'm trying to go that way, but all of my behaviors are taking me that way, that's not alignment, right?
You're not going to get to where you want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So really alignment is being aware, being, what's the next day?
Oh, awareness, acceptance.
Thank you. Being aware, then accepting where you are, not all non-judgmentally, and then getting into alignment with what you sort of see and feel in the world so that you can move in the direction that you would like to move. I'm trying to read to make sure that
Everyone's just so far just showing who's watching. There's
Oh,
no
okay.
comments.
I just want to make sure nobody was saying we can't hear you.
Yeah. After we've been talking for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll probably wrap it up here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any questions or comments?
Yeah, questions or comments, we'd love that. We always try to get back to the comments section even after the live is over and answer
So if you have
everyone.
a question or clarification or missed what book we were talking about.
Yeah, Tara Brach, radical acceptance. And then she has radical acceptance of self and a few others, but just radical acceptance of everything. That's really the key to it.
Or Brene Brown, Braving the Wilderness. That's also a really good one about, you know, just being who you are and showing up as who you are. And I think sometimes we're afraid to show our true selves. For me, it's that, like I said, that feeling of being unworthy or not enough. So, and when you're not showing up as yourself day after day, you begin to feel lost because you're not present and you're not bringing yourself fully in the moment. There's a feeling of aliveness when you can be who you are with, you know, courage and confidence.
Brene Brown, in her book Braving the Wilderness, is interviewing like a middle schooler, and this girl says, she's asking the question, what's the difference between belonging and fitting in? And this little girl says, well, belonging is when the group wants you. Fitting in is when you want the group. It's so simple, right? So find the group that wants you for who you are, where you are.
You should be more worried about, oh, I hope I like them, not I hope they like me.
Yep, that's another piece of it. I hope I like them, not I hope they like me. That's really the key to it. And that doesn't mean walling yourself off from the rest of the world. It means being inside your own skin so comfortably that you can just navigate the world without worry of rejection. Yeah. We need telescopes to be able to read.
Good morning. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Thank you, Ann. We need binoculars to be able to see those little tiny things. We probably need to get a second monitor closer to us or something. All right. Any final thoughts? We're about at time, I think.
No, just be present.
Be present. By the way, I've got be you. Yeah, I have a whole, I think, 5 or 6 blogs that I've been working on for the last several weeks that should be coming live over the next few weeks too, all about this sort of stuff. And we're going to continue to blog and put out videos on this kind of stuff because this is at the core. This is at the core, absolutely.
This is at the core of a lot of things we see in the clinic and you know, a lot of things I've seen in my own life and my own journey toward healing.
These topics probably didn't make you sick.
No.
Well, they may have contributed, but they didn't make you sick, but they're keeping you sick. And this is a really important piece of the puzzle that we find is just generally neglected by most clinics and most providers, that they don't get to that core of our own personal journey and our own personal trauma and our own personal autonomic balance. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. And if you weren't able to show up, we will certainly respond to you in the comments later. So please do. All right. I think you're closer.
Am I closer?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to argue.
Bye, guys.
Oops.